Alright, so this is a continuation of the quiz Math 1.1 to 1.6, Part B. So here I have 5 over 8 minus 112 minus 3/4. Now notice that there's no equal sign or less than or greater than sign here, so it's not a full equation. So with that, I can't multiply everything by a certain number in order to cancel out these denominators. What I have to do is I have to have a common denominator between the three, or you could just work with these two. But I'm going to look at a common denominator between all of these numbers down here, 8, 12, and 4. And when I work it out, the common denominator between all of them is 24. So I'm going to have 24 as a denominator here. So again, I'm not canceling out my denominators that I could do with some of the equations we were working in class, because there is no equal sign, greater than, or less than sign here. So we can't do that. We have to work it out with a common denominator. So looking at my first fraction here, I have an 8. So how do I make 8 into 24? I have to times it by 3. So then I have to times the top by 3. I have a 15 here. Keep my sign. I have a negative there, so negative 12. I'm going to times this by 2 to make it 24. And then keep my negative here. And then I'm going to times this by 6 to make it 24. And that gives me an 18 here. So a lot of you guys could just do this all in your head, straight through. I'm just going to go 2 at a time. 15 subtract by 2, that's going to give me 13. Keep my denominator. Write the rest. And then I have 13 minus 18. That's going to give me negative 5. Keep my denominator. And I could see that there's nothing that could go into 5 and 24. So this here is the final answer. Alright, so I have here 5 divided by 8. 5 over 8 divided by 25 over 24. So again, whenever you divide fractions, you have to flip the second fraction, because dividing fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. So I'm going to have here 5/8, and I'm going to multiply this guy's reciprocal. And reciprocal again is just flipping the fraction. So instead of 25 over 24, I'm going to have 24 over 25. Now a lot of you guys would just multiply this through, and you're going to get a huge number here, and you're going to have 8 times 25. That's going to be a huge number. What I was showing you guys in class is to reduce here by whatever you divide the top by, the numerator by, you could also divide the denominator by. So here I have a 5. I'm just going to go to a different color here. I have a 5 here and a 25 here. So I'm going to divide this by 5. And I'm going to divide this by 5. That's going to give me a 1 here. And then 25 divided by 5 is going to give me a 5. Here, I have an 8 here and a 24 here. So I could divide this actually by 8. And I could divide this by 8. So I'm going to have 8 divided by 8, which is just going to give me 1. And 24 divided by 8, which is going to give me 3. So I'm going to just rewrite this here. I have 1 over 1 times by 3 over 5. And then when you multiply fractions, it's just multiplying across. 1 times 3, that's 3. 1 times 5 is 5. And I'm looking at this fraction here, and there's nothing that I could reduce the numerator or denominator by, so this is the final answer. Alright, so I have 12 minus negative 8 divided by 4 over 3. So 12 times by negative 8 is going to give me negative 96. Then I'm going to have divided by 4 over 3. And now again, this is a same division of fraction. So whenever you divide fractions, it's the same as multiplying its reciprocal. Even though we don't see it here, this 96 is technically over 1. So I'm going to have here negative 96 over 1 times by the reciprocal of this guy. So instead of 4 over 3, I'm going to flip it to become 3 over 4. Okay? Then again, I could multiply this through. I'm going to get a huge number if I multiply negative 96 by 3. So let's see if I could reduce the top and bottoms, and I can, because I could divide this by 4, and I could divide this 96 also by 4. Change pen here. So negative 96 divided by 4, that's going to give me negative 24. 4 divided by 4, that's going to give me a 1. So I'm going to have times by 3 over 1, or just 3. Okay? So negative 24 times by 3, that's going to give me negative 72. And there's the answer. Alright, so here I have 3 over 4 minus 7/8, both in brackets, divided by 1/2 to the power of 2. So I'm going to work with this bracket here first. So I have to have the same denominator because I am minusing. So I'm going to times this by 2 and this by 2, so I could have a denominator of 8. I'm going to have 8 here and then 8 here. 7, 3 times by 2, that's 6. Close my brackets, write everything else out. Alright, so 6 minus 7 is negative 1. Keep my denominator. Divided by 1/2 over 2. Now I have an exponent here of 2. Whenever I have exponent with a fraction, I have to distribute my exponent to the numerator as well as to the denominator. So I'm going to have here negative 1/8 divided by 1 times 1 is 1, and then 2 to the power of 2, 2 times 2 is 4. Now I'm dividing fractions, so that's the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So I'm going to have negative 1/8, I don't touch the first fraction, times by, flip this fraction here, flip the second fraction, so I'm going to have 4 over 1. Negative 1 times by 4, that's going to give me negative 4. 8 times by 1, that's going to give me 8. So negative 4 divided by 8, I could reduce that more to negative 1/2. And that's the answer. Okay, so I have here 10 minus 8 divided by 4/3 divided by, in brackets, negative 3/2. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work with my division, because division goes before any addition or subtraction. And I'm going to work with this guy first. I'm going to work with this negative 8 divided by 4/3. So I'm going to have here negative 8, which is technically over 1, divided by 4/3. Whenever you're dividing fractions, it's the same as multiplying its reciprocal. So I'm going to flip this 3/4. I'm going to have 3 over 4 here. Okay, so with this one, change a pen here. This one here, I have negative 8 and a 4. I could actually reduce this to make it easier on me. So I'm going to divide this guy by 4, and I'm going to divide this guy by 4. Negative 8 divided by 4, I'm going to get negative 2. And then 4 divided by 4 is going to be crossing out, because I'm going to just have a 1. So then I'm just going to be left with 3 over 1. Negative 2 times by 3 is just going to give me a 6. Negative 6. Then I'm going to bring this guy. I'm going to work with this guy now. Okay, so I have my negative 6, and I'm going to divide it by, in brackets, negative 3/2. Again, whenever you're working with, whenever you're dividing fractions, it's the same as multiplying its reciprocal. So I'm going to flip this guy. Negative, instead of negative 3/2, I'm going to have negative 2 over 3. Switch my pen here again. I could see here, this is technically over 1, okay, that negative 6 and 3, I could reduce this to make it easier again for myself. I'm going to divide it each by 3, because negative 6 and 3 could both be divided by 3. I'm going to have nothing here in the bottom, because it's going to become a 1. And then negative 3 divided by 3 is going to give me negative 2 times by negative 2. Now I have negative 2 times by negative 2. Negative and a negative, whoop, becomes a positive. 2 times 2, 4. Then bring down this guy here. So I'm going to have 10 down here. Then 10 add by 4 is just going to give me 14. So out of all of that, the answer is just 14.